welcome back for another 7 Caillou challenge. This one's called How Many Arguments? And so let me scroll up here. I thought there were more instructions in this. Let me refresh my page. Okay, maybe that is it for the instructions. So you can see that they're kind of over here in the solution pane. You are to create a function called countargs that returns the number of arguments provided as an integer. And so you got two examples over here. They shouldn't have named this args underscore count lowercase when they called it this over here. I suppose that could be something I offer as an improvement to the kata. But you'll notice that if it has 3 parameters, it returns 3. If it has 4 parameters, it returns 4. So yeah, this is kind of weird, right? It's different from our normal challenge. And there's a keyword that if you know about, this is a pretty trivial problem to solve. If you don't know it, go out and find it, right? That's a skill you need to develop as a budding engineer. You should be able to go on the internet and look up stuff like this, like, you know, go Google, how would I pass multiple parameters to a method in C# or something like that. You know, you don't even need to be as wordy as that, but you know what I mean. Go out there and find the answers. There's also some clues to be found if you look through their sample tests. So this will clear up the ambiguity between the method name here and here. Clearly they want count args like this in sort of the Pascal casing where the first letter of each word is capitalized, how we typically do method naming. And so note they've got one with 3 integers, they've got 2 integers and a string, just 1 integer, you've got a character, int, string, object array, like all sorts of crazy stuff, right? So you can't make any assumptions about the parameters either. So you can't just assume it's going to be integers then. Go ahead and pause the video. If you don't know the relevant keyword, go search, see what you can find, come on back when you are ready, and we'll go over the solution together. I'm going to set up this method that they want us to make. And note that with all these kata classes they do in the challenges, they are static, so that sets a constraint that our method also has to be static, right? Because if it weren't static, you would need to create an instance of the kata object to invoke it, right? That's how we invoke non-static methods. You make an instance of the class, and then you call the method on that instance, that specific instance of the class. So since this is static, remember the crude way I try to explain that to newcomers is that think of it like turning object-oriented programming off within this scope here. It's just kind of saying this class, we don't make objects from it, and therefore it follows that it doesn't make sense to have data members and methods that rely on there being specific instances of these objects. So all my methods and data has to be static within this class. So public static, we see it returns an integer that represents the number of arguments. We have to name it specifically count args. And then, yeah, so the magic is what we put inside the parentheses here. Hopefully you came up with the, drum roll please, params keyword. And you can go over this all you want. The big takeaway is by using the params keyword, you could specify a method parameter. So you're listing one that takes a variable number of arguments. That's perfect for what we're doing. The parameter type must be a single dimensional array. That's no problem. Don't know why you'd want to go multi, but in case you did, you can't. And then just scroll down and check out these examples quick. They have one with an integer. See how they did params. Use the params keyword first, and then you make your array, and then as usual you give your parameter a name, right? So we will do this object one because we couldn't make any assumptions. We had ints and characters and strings, and the thing with object is that everything's an object. You can look up what objects are. It's like everything sort of is a subclass of that. Everything's derived from that. Everything's an object. So when we say object, it can hold any of the types that we might encounter. So we'll use this. If you want, you can copy it, or you can just remember it and type it in when you come back. So yeah, params object list, I'll call mine args. And then if you want the number of them, what do you know about arrays? Well, you've been doing this a long time now. You know that you could say return args length. Arrays have a length property. So I think it really is as simple as this. Hit the test. Good. Favorite color. There we go, money green. So we're clear to submit. Yeah, it really came down to whether you knew this params thing or not. So I like this challenge in that maybe it taught some people a new keyword. I don't find myself using params in my day-to-day life, but maybe it'll be useful for you somewhere. Other than that, yeah, I'll go ahead and send mine off, get my honor points. And yeah, go ahead and, I don't know if there's going to be a lot to look through here. A lot of people did it like we did. You see this one used this dynamic keyword. Maybe you want to look that up. But yeah, really not a lot of variation here. So other than that, if you happen to have questions, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, we will keep rolling. Thank you for watching.